Hello, I'm David Alexander, and I'm here to present our 1968 Ferrari 330 GTC. This is an absolutely gorgeous example, and a Ferrari 330 GTC is considered a Ferrari GT car, meaning that back in the day when it was new, it was suitable for everyday use. Ferrari started making race cars in 1947, and shortly thereafter began making street cars, both sports and GT cars, to support Enzo's racing ambitions. Most of those cars in the beginning were one-off cars made in very small quantities by famous body coachwork firms around Italy. So Ferrari would supply the chassis and then they would make a one-off product. Later in the 1950s, Ferrari began producing a car called a 250 PF Coupe. And that car started in 1958. And that was the first production Ferrari GT car. Shortly thereafter, in 1963, followed by the 250 Ferrari Lusso, and then in 1966 by the 330 GTC you see right here. So Ferrari today still builds racing cars, GT cars, and sports cars. So this fits right into the world of Ferrari. This particular 330 is, as I said, a Ferrari GT car. And this particular car is one out of 598 cars produced. So a fairly small production run, but for Ferrari back in those days, that was a lot of cars. So in 1966, the chassis was based on the sports car called the 275 GTB, which featured independent suspension, a rear transaxle, and of course the front 12-cylinder engine. In the case of the 330, it is a 4-liter 12-cylinder engine, producing just under 300 horsepower. This car was actually restored in 1997 by a company called Grand Touring Classics in LA, and Norbert Hofer is the owner of that firm, and he's known for doing spectacular restorations. So this car was restored many, many years ago and still presents beautifully. In fact, we believe it to be one of the best in the world. When you look at a great restoration, you want to look at the quality of the chrome. This car has what's called show chrome, and it's all over the car. It's virtually flawless. It looks like a mirror. It costs a lot of extra money to produce it, but the results are spectacular. If you look at the window surrounds, if you look at the wiper arms, every little detail is done in a great deal of care and a lot of workmanship. Also note that the paint is virtually flawless. This car was painted, Norbert Hofer did the restoration, but painted by a famous paint company called Junior's House of Color. They're famous for doing hot rods and all kinds of spectacular paint work. And the shut lines on the body are beautiful, probably better than the factory originally made them. If you look at the hood, if you look at the doors, if you look at these nice sharp edges along the body seams, fantastic, just a fantastic car. The car was always equipped with Barani wire wheels, and those wheels are on it today. The car is also equipped with the correct Anza exhaust system. So after the restoration in 1998, this 330 GTC became the first 330 GTC ever shown at the Pebble Beach Concours. And then in 1999, the car earned the very highly coveted Ferrari Club of America Platinum Award at the Quail Lodge. In 2005, the car achieved an FCA Platinum Award at the Cavallino Classic. So the car actually has 2 platinums. And then in 2011, the car was Classiche certified by Ferrari and has the appropriate red book. Interestingly, we fast forward to 2013, the car achieved one of the highest prices ever paid at auction, and that was $946,000 at the Gooding auction. Now let's take a look at a few more details of this car. First of all, let's take a look at the interior. This is just a spectacular interior, correct wool carpets, correct heel pad, beautifully finished, refinished dashboard in the correct sheen. The shape of the seats is among the best I've ever seen on the 330 GTC. These seats are extremely difficult to reupholster correctly. It takes many, many hours to get the details right. In fact, these particular seats have been used as a model for other people. Let's take a look under the hood. Here's our 4-liter 12-cylinder. The finishes inside are spectacular and correct and original. It is not over-restored. It looks like a 2-year-old car if you take a look inside here. Obviously the trunk is in beautiful shape. The carpeting is the correct type. We have the original toolkit here, and it is complete. We also have the original jack and jack bag complete. There is the red book from Ferrari Classiche. Also note that we have the correct manual pouch, owner's manual, it is a reproduction, parts manual, and warranty book. So this is a complete car with everything that you'd want to have in a 330 GTC. If you have any other questions, we're happy to answer any questions you might have. We have extensive service records. We're very familiar with this car in every respect. Thank you so much.